Mount Juliet residents, just want to tell you thank you all for joining today. We're out here in Providence area, and as we did in past years, it's an opportunity for us to be able to talk about what our department heads are doing, and to give you, as well as the commission and even the folks that are coming here to Mount Juliet, a little bit of understanding about what each department is doing. So with that, I got a list full of questions here, gentlemen, and I'd like to see if you can kind of give me some updates. So,
Sure.
So Matt, with that, can you tell us a little bit about what your department is doing?
Yeah, so under the Public Works umbrella, we have 4 different divisions. We have our Fleet Services division, where we have 2 full-time mechanics who service all the city vehicles and equipment in the city. Then we have our right-of-way maintenance division. They handle all the maintenance in our city public right-of-ways, whether that's patching potholes, repaving streets, restriping the lines on the roads, fixing sidewalks, curbs, picking up dead animals, things like that. And when we have natural disasters or storm events, they're the first responders on those events, and they're out there pushing trees out of the road or plowing our snow and ice off the roads. So that's a little bit about what our right-of-way maintenance division does. Then we have our traffic division, who's responsible for maintaining all of the city's traffic signals and our road signs in the right-of-way. And then we have, last but not least, we have our capital projects division. That division manages all of our city's capital transportation projects, from planning to design to right-of-way acquisition and construction. So that's a little bit about what Public Works does.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Now, Shane, now your department, you have the cool department. I'll tell you now, it's always the one that we always don't appreciate until we have a backup, right? So can you tell us a little bit about your departments?
So, engineering director entails all commercial and residential development that comes through the city. So, our team and myself, we review all the civil plans, meaning your grading, stormwater, sewer, traffic, transportation, roadway design of all your residential developments that come through the city. And the job you were entailing too, as we're a lean operation, we try to make sure we optimize our taxpayers' money. I also assist with utilities, the utility director, with sewer and stormwater capital projects. So any type of sewer project or stormwater project that the city performs, I'm in some way associated with that as well.
Okay. No, thank you. I appreciate you both explaining a little bit of the detail about what each department does, so that way at least gives us a good overview. Now, obviously, it's always a great opportunity to be talking about the projects because we're in budget time, and it's always good for our citizens as well as our businesses can be able to at least understand where their tax dollars are going. So Matt, can you tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you have coming up for 2026, as well as what we got, like the future plan there?
Yeah. How much time do we have? No, we have over 20 transportation projects currently under development. I'll talk first about the ones that are in construction or about to start construction. So obviously you've seen Curd Road at Mount Juliet Road. We're in construction to install a traffic signal at that intersection and a little bit of widening of Curd Road. That is well underway, and we anticipate that being complete in November of this year. We have our ITS project, which is connecting all of our traffic signals along Mount Juliet Road from Central Pike to Division Street, connecting with fiber optic cable. And then we're implementing a new central software program to synchronize those lights. We've never had these lights all synchronized together. They're all working independently currently. So this project is going to be very beneficial at synchronizing and moving traffic more efficiently through the corridor.
Now, if you don't mind, if I can cut you off, I'm going to throw you a curveball. So with those lights, is that also going to help out with our first responders for like the fire trucks, or is that a different program?
So that's already been implemented.
Okay.
It's called preemption, and we currently have preemption on. It was just installed this year recently.
Okay.
Each signal has a preemption, so when the fire engine's lights are running, it sends a signal to the traffic signal and tells it to turn green. So it gets them to their destination much faster. But yeah, that's already implemented, and that'll be ongoing. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
then, any other projects you got going on?
Major project about to start construction actually next week is Old Lebanon Dirt Road widening. This is the largest city-funded project we've done so far in Mount Juliet. It's a $16.5 million construction contract. Over the past year, you've probably seen utilities moving out of the way to get ready for the road construction. So next week, our contractor's mobilizing on that project, and we'll be starting construction. We will be having a groundbreaking ceremony on June 22nd, at 5 o'clock p.m. and out there right along the project and kind of the Jackson Hollow Page Drive area.
Okay.
We'll be meeting there on June 22nd at 5 to celebrate the construction finally starting on this project.
That's awesome. Now, one more thing, if you don't mind, just ballpark, because I know I'm going to throw you a curveball here. Now, obviously, you're also ahead of all of the grants. You help write a lot of those.
Yep.
Can you tell me just ballpark number on what kind of savings that you and your department and the time that you put into this? I mean, I know you're on a board as well, so there's a lot of time and effort that you're putting in.
Yep.
Ballpark, what do you think that you've helped save the city?
I don't have the exact number with me, but with our low property tax rate, we're dependent on getting grants to do these projects.
Sure.
We've gotten probably 30 to 40 million so far, and many more to come down the road. A lot of our major road widening projects we're working on now, we haven't went after a grant yet because you're more likely to get a grant when it's about ready to start construction. So we're focused right now on getting our project shovel ready to start construction, and we'll go after these grants. And my role in the GNRC is made that ability for us to get grants more likely. We set our projects up in the GNRC regional transportation plan to get the priority of those projects up so that when funding's available, those projects will receive funding first over some other cities. So
no, that's great.
There's a lot of work involved with that, so
yeah. No, I appreciate that because again, that keeps our tax dollars down. That burden doesn't always go back on the citizens and the business owners. So it's always good to know that that you guys are taking that proactive approach. That's good. So is there anything else you missed?
Yeah, there's a lot of projects to talk about.
I understand.
We're partnering with TDOT on 3 huge projects in Mount Juliet. They're in TDOT's 10-year plan. That's the Central Pike widening project. Well, I'll talk about Central Pike interchange first. That's slated to go to construction in 2029.
Okay.
And then we have South Mount Juliet Road widening, which is right behind us here. That is slated to go to construction in 2031.
Okay.
And then we have Central Pike widening between the interchange and South Mount Juliet Road, slated to go to construction in 2032. So the city has been a partner with TDOT on those projects. We've partnered financially and also project manager-wise. And I'm very excited about those projects. Those 3 projects are over $200 million projects.
3 projects over $200 million.
Yes.
And what is the investment that the city's putting in? Because I know the citizens are always asking, hey, we want infrastructure. We want to be able to take our tax dollars and make sure that they are going towards road improvement because we got a lot of growth, right? So we got to be able to do this whole thing here where we're answering that call to be able to improve the road. So ballpark, what do you see the investment the city's making?
So on the Central Pike interchange, the city, the BOC, is committed $27 million to that project. 25 recently. We committed $2 million a few years ago to get the project started and design. So $27 million just on that project. South Mount Juliet Road, we've committed to funding all the engineering, which is estimated around $2 million. TDOT has funded the remainder of the project, the right-of-way and construction. And then Central Pike widening, the city is committed to funding the engineering and right-of-way on that project.
That's awesome.
That's estimated to be around $7 million, $6 or $7 million.
So all in about $35 million, it sounds like, really close?
That's correct, yeah.
One more last thing, I just wanted to just ask you real quick, if you can go into some more detail. Obviously, we talked about the Central Pike project and the investment the city did. The 25 million plus 2 million. Can you go into some detail because I know other cities may not take that full big approach. So can you give us some input there?
So about 3 years ago, TDOT started a 10-year process, 10-year plan.
Okay.
They put the first one out about 3 years ago, and they asked cities, what can you contribute to get a project you want into the 10-year plan? So at that time, that's when the city committed the 25 million additional. We committed the 2 million before, and the BOC committed 25 million to get the project into TDOT's 10-year plan. Because if it's not in the plan, there's no guarantee of when it's going to get done. So that was the major selling point to TDOT. That's a huge amount of money that I don't think any other city has committed on a project. And that is what's got it into the initial 10-year plan. When it went into the 10-year plan, they set it for a construction date of 2031. A lot of BOC members were not happy with that because we thought it could be constructed much sooner. So we went to TDOT and we asked them, well, what can we do to get this project moved up sooner? And they basically said, you got to bring more money to the table. Well, the city doesn't have any more money to bring to the project, so the only other thing to do is go after a federal grant. It's called, we applied for the BUILD grant, it's B-U-I-L-D, and we asked for $25 million in that grant application. The city took the initiative and went after it, and we ended up getting awarded $24,600,000 and something on there. So the next year, when TDOT's evaluating their 10-year plan, we say, hey, look, we got you more money. Please move the project up. And then we just heard this past April that the project moved up from 2031 to 2029. So
That's awesome.
We were very happy, and thanks for the BOC for supporting that grant application and the ability for me to write that grant application and submit it. So
absolutely,
it's a huge thing for the city.
Yeah, with the traffic behind us, this is this is always a concern about safety, access, and then just making sure that we always think proactively. So we appreciate the partnership and looking forward to.
And I want to thank TDOT as well, because
Yeah.
they were a big help in that process. And in my grant application, they helped review it and give a letter of support as well through that grant application.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
They're very helpful, and we thank TDOT for everything they do for Mount Juliet.
Yeah, that's a good partnership. TDOT has been there for us and
Yep.
through the storms and all the other improvements. So
Yep.
it just goes to show their partnership. So we appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great story to tell, and I hope the citizens realize about how much time and effort. It's not just when the road is actually starting. There's so many things that lead up to that, right?
There's a lot of work involved to get the project ready for construction.
Yeah.
Many years of
Yeah.
work to get those projects ready.
And it's not just government. It's just that's
No, it's
normal
just a lot of
process,
work.
right?
Yeah, normal
Okay.
process. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I'll talk about our city major road widening projects that we're also working on. East Division Street, we're in early stages of design on that one. Beckwith Road widening between I-40 and South Rutland, we're also working on. Pleasant Grove Road widening we're working on as well, and Golden Bear widening. So those are 4 other major projects we're heavily involved in.
That's great.
Yep.
No, I really appreciate you, Matt. Now, Shane, I'm going to hand it over to you, sir, because there's a lot of things that are being built right now that's already above ground as well as underground. There's a lot of cutting up the roads and on the side of the road. So can you tell us a little bit about what your team is working on?
I think the big project, literally big project, is you head out of Mount Juliet on Old Lebanon Dirt Road on the north side. On your right, you'll see a big concrete tank. That tank is the biggest project the city has done with the utility,
Okay.
sewer utility. That tank can hold 8 million gallons of runoff and wastewater that will be required of us when we renegotiate our contract with Metro. When I mean by the contract with Metro, City of Mount Juliet does not have a wastewater treatment plant. We are
Sure.
reliant on sending or piping our wastewater to Metro Nashville.
Okay.
And by Cobblestone Landing, there's a small little brick building as you head out of town that is the point of connection with the Metro system.
Okay.
So with increased regulations that Metro will put on us in 3 or 4 years, it was imperative to be proactive and get this tank in place to regulate flow into Metro system that doesn't recklessly charge our sewer users unnecessary fees. So if
Okay.
you get a big storm event that could fill up the tank just because of runoff, infiltration, wastewater that could occur in a big storm event, it's really, really reckless to discharge all of your flow at once and pay $1.50, 150% more than what you have to, when you can just build this tank. And it's a $18 million project.
Okay.
But over the life of a 40, 50-year tank, you're saving that plus more
Yeah.
to keep our rates down, because Metro, like anything else, they don't let us pipe into their system for free.
Yeah, I understand.
So
yeah,
that's a
those
big
tip
one.
charges can be very expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that would be reckless to incur those kind of fees for our users, which I'm a user on the system, so I want to make sure that we keep our bills down and keep them responsible.
There you go.
So that project will be completed, wrapping up in October of this year, and we hope to get it online and start using it shortly thereafter.
Okay. Any other big projects you got going on?
Several. So to better serve our city, we've got in our budget this year to proceed with construction of a regional pump station that will serve the Golden Bear Gateway corridor with sewer.
Okay.
So that'll be up for a vote with the budget that y'all are looking at here in Monday after next. But that will better serve our city and relieve the strain on some existing infrastructure. And we hope to have that project, once it gets to construction, if all goes well, next summer, 2.5 years to get that done.
Okay.
And with all the good work Director White has done with the interchange, we had to fast track a couple of sewer projects to stay out in front of any potential capacity issues that come with a new interchange. So our 2 main sewer lines that run through the middle of the city, we're going to finish up the upsizing of those. We finished the last portion of it last year. With the interchange moving up 2 years, we pushed our schedule up to start design this year and hopefully get to construction as well on that next year.
Okay.
So we're going to make sure that business is open. They don't have to worry about anything once the interchange is in and entitlement process starts. Sewer won't be an issue for that.
Okay. Now, obviously, with all these projects, the growth, as well as everything that we have going on, infrastructure. We have 50 plus year old city. The infrastructure side of it, the proactive approach. What else are you doing there?
So I'm going to touch on that with our stormwater utility, which the VOC passed 3 years ago.
Okay.
I'm pleased to announce that we're starting our first 2 projects with the utility, opening bids on June 22nd. So it's another big day for us. People have seen that a lot of rainwater-induced trauma that's occurred in the city.
Sure.
You can't eliminate it, but we can surely mitigate it.
Yeah.
And we're doing a project to help the Clearview neighborhood out with some drainage issues that have significantly changed since the tornado went through that neighborhood in 2020.
Okay.
So we're going to clean that neighborhood up a little bit. And we've got a culvert in Belinda City. We fixed the pond at Mundy Park, and the pipe downstream of that is in really bad shape. And we want to get that up to code for today's standards. So that will be coming, like I said, this fall.
Okay.
And I think if you talk to our utilities director, Tim Forkham, he always uses the term that, hey, we got a utility, but we got to get to work. We're 35 years behind on our stormwater infrastructure.
Sure.
And I wish we could flip the switch overnight and get them all done, but with that, we're starting an assessment citywide to start our work order system to get our stormwater infrastructure back in code compliant shape. So
Okay.
we're going to be doing that assessment, and that from there we can start working on more projects to show what the $5.40 that we pay every month will be going to, and you'll start to see that more and more.
Okay.
Also, the stormwater utility
Yeah.
is putting in $2 million towards Old Lebanon Dirt Road widening project as well.
Really?
So not only is that project addressing roadway safety, it's also fixing a lot of drainage and flooding issues along that corridor. So we reach out to the utility director, and he's willing to put in money to help fix some flooding issues along that corridor along with the project. So
That's good. So some proactive approaches there. Now, obviously, with this last storm that we had, there's a lot of road, challenges where potholes. There's, there's some flooding, some backups. Obviously, there's the city has a platform for us to be able to have the citizens reach out to us. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yeah. So we use a app called C-Click Fix.
Okay.
It's an app you download on your phone, and if you run across an issue, a maintenance issue that you see when you're out traveling around, you can just get on the app and submit a request, maintenance request, basically.
Okay.
You can even upload a picture, and it has GPS tied to it, so you can tag your location. So, and those, whenever you submit a maintenance request, that gets emailed to the appropriate person.
Okay.
Based on what the complaint is about. So
Okay.
that's a really cool app people can use. But if you're a person that doesn't need another app on your phone, you don't like to use technology or apps, you can also just pick up the phone and call our office and report any maintenance issue that you see out there. My department can't have eyes all over the city, so it's very helpful when citizens can reach out and let us know about some maintenance issues we can take care of.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually have that app on my own phone right now, and it really helps out because, for me, I always think, well, somebody already has that problem or they've already documented it.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the proactive approach, you know, that we don't want to assume anything. So if there's a problem, just go ahead and bring it to your department's attention, put it on the app. Typically, you know, when there's a problem like that, is there a timeline that you guys try to hit for, you know, for completing that? Let's say if it's a pothole, somebody calls it in, or a sign that got ran over. Typically, what is that timeline that you would typically see?
In Quick Fix, it gives you a certain time to complete the work order. If you don't complete it in that time, it sends an email to me and says, this hasn't been completed yet, so that I can follow up with the appropriate.
But that's on your side, not that I can see it, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't think I could see that.
Well, if you submit the request, you can see those things in there. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the due date and things like that. And
I'll have to go back there and see the completion
Yeah.
dates. Yes, that's great to know.
Yeah.
I learned something new today. All right, gentlemen, is there anything else I've missed? I mean, we're talking mid-year, for Mount Juliet. Is there anything that that you guys also want to cover before we close out today?
I think we've covered everything.
Awesome. You good?
Thank you.
All right, residents. Well, listen, I hope everybody has a great week. Looking forward to more comments on social media. Also, if you ever need anything, please reach out to us, whether if I'm in your district or if you need to reach out to another commissioner, the mayor. We're just a phone call away, an email away. And these gentlemen, they've already offered it many times throughout today's gathering. So please reach out to us. Let us know your opinions, your concerns, and we're looking to support the city the best we can. So thank you. And Bill Trivett, closing out. Have a great week.
Thank you.